recipe of naradacha vada. Now here I have taken about 2 cups of grated fresh coconut, or maybe one medium-sized coconut which you can grate entirely. This is about 3/4 cup of milk, about 1 teaspoon of freshly ground elaichi or cardamom powder, and this is about 2 cups of sugar. Now I've just taken very little ghee and just greased this plate, and we're going to use a heavy bottomed pan like this. Now I put the flame on low and I've just added the coconut, the sugar and the milk into this heavy bottom pan, and I'm going to use a wooden spoon with a long handle, and we're just going to stir this mixture on a low to medium flame till all of the ingredients come together very well. That is, all of the sugar melts well, and you will see that the consistency changes. First it was a solid consistency, now it is becoming a little bit of a liquid consistency as the sugar melts, and then it just starts to thicken up. Now this liquid does splutter about here and there, so just be extremely careful. That's why I use a long handled wooden spoon, because the wooden spoon will not heat up. And keep changing the flame from low to medium as it bubbles. Then you will see that it thickens up like this and it starts leaving the sides of the pan. After some time, you will see that it becomes really, it all comes together like this. That's the time when you add your cardamom powder or elaichi powder, and just stir for another half a minute. Now this entire process of stirring took me exactly 12 minutes. I timed myself on the watch. So it should take you around 12 to 15 minutes for this mixture to get ready. Now put the flame off, and we're just going to transfer this mixture onto this greased plate. Now you can use a normal aluminium tin that we use normally, but I would prefer that we use a steel plate, because then it really sets very well. So if you have a small steel plate like this, just grease it with a very little bit of toop or ghee, or if you don't have ghee you can use even butter, but very little, don't put too much, just about a drop of ghee. And then just take a vati like this, just put a little bit of ghee or butter on the top of the vati like this, and then just smoothen out the top of this vadi. Now this plate should have at least an inch of thickness, because we want the vadis to be nice and big and thick. We don't want them to be very tiny and small. So even if you have an aluminium tray, you can use that too. Just press it down with the vati, because the mixture is very hot, so don't try to do it with your hands. This will give it a very nice even texture. And then when the mixture is hot itself, just cut them into a desired shape. Now I like the square shape. And also if you want to add some color to this, so just before you add the cardamom powder, just add your food color. But I like it plain and white like this. It really looks very nice. And now we're going to let this sit for at least an hour. You can refrigerate it. I just kept it outside for about an hour to set, covered it and kept it outside. And then you just lift up each of the pieces carefully, and you get these beautiful vadis. And they harden up also pretty fast, but they're still soft, yet, firm. They don't fall apart, or they don't have that Burfi texture. They have a very different texture, so you need to try this out, friends, if you haven't already.